We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Wolo. Look up on the wall. There on the wall. Under the bottle. Behind the wall.
Grizz win. Another thriller at the end. This one had a better ending than the night before. And this time it was a different hero, another rookie. The three stars, really, from the night before didn't play. And the Grizzlies are able to win. Tigers hoops gets another piece. We'll talk about that. The golf picks are going overseas. The Genesis, the Scottish Open, the prelude to the Open Championship. We will pick with Johnny and with Mickey. That comes your way in a little bit. And there is a major international track meet in town, the 8th annual Ed Murphy Classic. We will talk today with two-time Olympic gold medalist Christian Taylor and Paul Doyle, who is like the super agent for tracksters and who is the owner of a new American track league, a competition grouping that is trying to bring back American track and field, because most of the international meets are now in Europe. They're trying to get more here in this country, and the Ed Murphy Classic, by the way, is the only non-profit track meet in the world. And I'm trying to remember, I think it raised $550,000 last year or something like that. That goes to inner city track. They're giving some to improve the track at the U of M. All the proceeds go to charity. It's an amazing thing. Ed Murphy will talk about that tomorrow. He'll be on with us at 10:10. But we will talk to Christian Taylor and Paul Doyle today in our final segment, because Jason Munz has the week off, which is kind of interesting. He did have to work yesterday, even though he's supposed to be off on some river isolated. But the Tigers get another piece. It is P.J. Carter. So we're going to have a couple of PJs, right?
Yeah.
The kid from Tulsa's P.J. Haggerty, who I think is going to be another Kendrick Davis. I'm crazy about that. And, of course, you got Harris. The interesting aspect about this, as I get to Carter here, I really think that Penny Hardaway has really gone about putting team roles together. This isn't trying to get as much talent as you can and figuring it out along the way. I think there would have been specific targets. Obviously, Carter would not have been signed if David Jones had come back, but he didn't. He played last night, by the way. I would not say overly impressive, but did have a bunch of rebounds in a short period of time. The guy for 6'3" can jump out of the gym, and I really want him to make that Philadelphia team. But make a long story short here, Carter is a 6'5", 3-and-D piece, right? You've already got Colby Rogers on one side to space the floor. You've got the kid from Texas, Hunter.
Tyrese.
Yeah. You've got PJ,
Yeah.
who's a scorer. You got Colby Rogers to spread the floor. Now you got Carter, PJ Carter, to space the other side. You got backup bigs with Tyreek Smith and, of course, Moussa Cisse.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Jourdain is going to be your jack of all trades. He'll play power forward, he'll play a little center for you, whatever you need. He's going to be a big inside or spread the floor a little bit by going to a corner. I think there's a specific plan when you targeted all these guys, and I'm excited about it. So this kid, he's interesting. He's going to be a fifth-year senior. He played pretty decent against the U of M, but he had good numbers down the stretch for Texas San Antonio. Now, that's his third stop. He played JC, he played Texas San Antonio. He transferred to Rice. He never showed up. Memphis was able to get him because he never showed up. So he's coming here. He averaged 9.5 points a game in 20 minutes. He shot 40.3% from three-point range. In junior college, he shot 43% from three-point range. Down the stretch, last 9 games of the year, the guy averaged almost 15 points a game. They finally figured out what they wanted to do with him in San Antonio, and he became a big piece of that. And if you'll recall, they turned around their season because they were terrible to begin with. And he was a big part of the turnaround. So, 2 spots are left. And the Tigers found themselves a 3-and-D piece that will somewhat replace David Jones. The D part of it for sure, because this kid can't play defense. If he can sit in the corner and shoot 40% from three-point range, and you got Rodgers on the other side doing the same thing, I think you're in pretty good shape. I like the way this thing is shaping up now, and I think P.J. Carter is going to go a long, long way. So it was Jalen Wells for the Grizzlies, who was the hero last night. Remember, it was Zach Edey the night before with LaRavia and Scottie Pippen. All 3 of those guys sat out because they play again tonight. And I guess they play again tonight. It's harder to see it. I loved it when it was on ESPN. I believe that you can watch it tonight on NBA TV or ESPN Plus. Either way you want to go. Interesting aspect there is they're going for the Lakers in the 6 o'clock time slot on ESPN from the other summer league. Then everybody's going to Vegas next week, so that'll be kind of fun to watch. But you get Oak City tonight at 6 o'clock, and that will be good. But last night, it was the Wells floater that won it, and I got to tell you, I am impressed with the kid from UConn, Cam Spencer. Because this kid, even though he's a little, what is he, 6'4", Zach?
6'4".
He can rebound. He is a good passer, and he hustles on defense. Even if he's overmanned by height, he gets in the guy's face, and he tries to be physical. I think I'm more impressed with him than I am with Wells, even though I know Wells won the game last night with that floater, and Wells had, I think, 27 points in the game.
Yeah.
Wells took a lot of shots. That's volume shooting. Remember, he was like 0 for 10 from 3 or something like that the game before, and his percentages were not really good again. Spencer, a lot more efficient from three-point range. There's no doubt. You leave this kid open, he's going to burn you.
Yeah, and with Spencer, like I kind of knew his game already with him being at UConn, and like how Dan Hurley likes to play. He fits it to the T. You can tell like he's a role player in the NBA when he was playing at UConn. So I knew the transition was going to be seamless for him. It's just a matter of opportunity to play at the highest level. I tweeted out when he got drafted, and I tweeted out again last night that John Conchar's days are numbered because there are 2 guys that does similar things, and Conchar is getting paid like $6 million in the next 3 years, while you got Cam Spencer pretty much on a really, really
he's on
team-friendly
he's
deal.
going to be a two-way guy at this point.
Yeah, and
let's see what they do with Luke Kennard. They still have actually one space, a roster spot that is available, depending on what Kennard does.
Yeah, and if Conchard's still with this team over the next 3 years, cool, that's fine. But I'm looking at it from you got to pay Jaren here in the next couple of years. Bane got his deal. Ja got his deal. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Marcus Smart. I'm like, all right, where can I shave money at and feel like I'm good with a young player on a cheap deal? And I think Cam is that guy. I'm not sure if he's going to get that standardized deal this season, but at some point he will be on the main roster.
Now, if you're a two-way guy, are you locked in? Like, if you're just on a G League team, I think anybody can grab you, right?
Yeah.
If you're a two-way guy, though, does that mean another team can't come to the G League if you're playing for the hustle and steal you away?
That's correct.
Okay, so that is protection.
So you're technically on the Grizzlies' payroll.
Because remember, Pippen was on the Lakers' two-way system. They must not have renewed his contract that made him available.
No, and that was the mistake from the Lakers.
Yeah.
They didn't
Well,
keep Scottie Pippen Jr.
I think Scottie Pippen Jr. can be a backup point guard in the NBA. I'm convinced of that now.
Yeah.
I was convinced last year the way he handled himself in this rookie league. Of course, we have to put perspective on this. You have to remember, this is rookie league. These are guys that can't make the league or they're promising rookies just coming in. That's basically it. There was one guy last night on Philadelphia who's 27 years old. Look, Kenny Lofton the night before for Utah is playing on their team. How many years has he been around? 4 years now in the league? Hanging
feels
around?
like it.
Yeah. So these are guys who can't make the league or they're coming up and you're not sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm pretty sure that the combination of Walker and Filipowski was a pretty good test on Edey in that first game.
Yeah.
I think. Did you see, by the way, someplace has now made Zach Edey the favorite to win the NBA Rookie of the Year, which is funny to me because one game in the Summer League and they're going, oh, yeah, we know for sure. This is it. I hope that's so. And I do think this guy can play in the NBA, but let's not get carried away from one game. We'll see tonight.
Kessler was the litmus test because you wanted to see Zach Edey come in and dominate against Walker Kessler because he has played meaningful games with the Jazz.
Yeah, no,
he was their starter at some point.
He's
with the Jazz.
He's good.
Yeah,
I think he's a solid defensive player, and Edey went right through him. And the fact that he went through him and Filipowski to get that tip in, that was pretty impressive because they were all over the dude.
yeah.
All right, we're sitting in the Family Leisure Studio. You know it's the summer party sale still going on all the way through July. We're 24-foot above ground pools. They're attainable at under $2,000. Under $2,000 for a pool, 24 foot. Come on, that's a good deal. Select in-stock patio furniture all the way up to 50% off. If you are one of those persons that likes the huge 4-person hot tubs, even if it's just you in the tub, under $3,000, we're talking big sale at the summer party at Family Leisure at I-40 and Whidden Road. You know, on Wednesdays, we bring in Dennis Philippi for his look at the world of sports. You were very disappointed. Coco Gauff out. You said that's the only name you knew?
Okay, that's an exaggeration. I sent David text and I said Coco. It was a lot of foul language, but that Coco Gauff was the only remaining player in Wimbledon that I recognized. Of course, Djokovic is advanced because his opponent was hurt, so he isn't going to have to play. It looks like he's on a collision course with Fritz, who right now is up one set, and he's up one game in the second set against Mazzetti. That's an American, which is fun to see, but it looks like Djokovic is headed straight toward Fritz. And Djokovic, I don't like Djokovic. I never have. And he was particularly whiny in his presser after his last win.
Well, he played the violin.
That the fans weren't on his side enough.
No, so here's what he's a little touchy. I don't agree with him. He was playing rude, right?
Yeah.
So the rude fans are going rude, and it sounds like boo, boo. And he took offense to that because he said, I know what they were doing, but they really were booing.
I think a certain percentage of them were booing. I was booing.
Well, I couldn't stand Joker to begin with because I'm a Federer, and then I like Nadal, and then I like Murray over Joker. But Joker, with his great play and the way he changed his diet and the way he was always the underdog and everything, nobody liked him. I've been impressed. He kind of has won me over, but this was a step back. I don't understand why he did what he did. And the woman who was interviewing him afterwards was trying to steer him away from that, but he would not have anything of it. He wanted to take a shot at the rude fans.
And they're still doing the social distance interviews in tennis. They're still standing 6 feet apart doing
No.
these interviews. I think we could probably go ahead and step a little bit closer. They could be in a 2-shot. I know it sounds crazy, but I think they could be in a 2-shot instead of shouting at each other 6 feet apart.
I don't know why, but I think they've established this is the way they want to do it.
They're
from
just
now
going to
on.
stick to this.
Yeah,
I have
agree.
no idea why.
I don't either.
But yeah, I did watch Coco go down, and that was a shame.
You know, since you
'cause I
mentioned
really like her.
Taylor Fritz,
Yeah.
you realize he won the last Memphis tournament
I
that
did not
we
know
had
that.
here. And everybody said, this is the new great American hope. And obviously, he has not been a great player.
But he's the closest thing to a great American hope because they're just.
We've had John Isner. He's like John Isner. He's a guy that's, he's a veteran of the international circuit who has made enough money to be successful, but has certainly never been a top 10 guy.
Well, and there's no way he's going to get past Djokovic. Who is the last guy standing? I mean, Djokovic is the last guy standing of all the guys you were talking about that are the great tennis players that we've loved for the last decade. We're just about done with those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we're about to wrap those up. By the way, I just want to point out that I said over a month ago that about now, by July 4th, no one would be talking about the WNBA. I listen to sports talk all the time, every time I'm in the car. Caitlin Clark puts up the first triple-double of a rookie in WNBA history. No one mentions it.
Oh, no.
No one talks about the WNBA.
I think you're wrong. I've heard a national show talking about the Reese double-double and the triple-double and how these two girls are carrying and how Diana Taurasi, it's like a soap opera. Diana Taurasi won't give these rookies any credit. They've all were not able to play in the Olympic Games. This Taurasi is there instead of Caitlin Clark. I've heard so much of this stuff. I can't wait for the WNBA, whatever they're calling themselves, versus the Olympic team, because that's coming up. I guarantee you'll hear a lot of pub about that.
Yeah, you probably there will be some.
WNBA All-Stars, by the way.
They're called the All-Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be some racket made about that, but again, it's just not what everybody thought it was going to be. You're right. That's the problem. It's a soap opera. Sooner or later, Reese is going to get sick of playing this role, this professional wrestling bad guy role
I don't agree.
that she's been
She
pressed
loves it.
into. I don't
She
think she
loves
does.
it.
I think she would just like to play the sport. I think most people would like to just see them play the sport. Nobody really wants to watch all this junk that's going on. In basketball, Joel Embiid, he's got French and American citizenship.
Right.
So of course he's going to be playing for the USA, for Team USA, and he says he's looking forward to the boos from the French. And that's not surprising. Joel Embiid has been declared the most hated man in New York City because Knicks fans absolutely hate him.
Right.
And Philly fans don't particularly like him. Have you ever spent any time in Philly?
Oh, yeah.
If you think that Memphians don't care for their city, go to Philadelphia. People in Philadelphia hate Philadelphia. I was at a friend of mine was graduating from Temple Law School. Everybody who's graduating from the Temple Law School that day,
They booed him when they went down the lane.
they're guaranteed. These people are all guaranteed a great job for life. I'm outside, and all their parents on the steps were doing was bitching about Philadelphia and how much they hate Philadelphia, how much they hate the Phillies, how much they hate the 76ers, just on and on and on. I hate this town. I hate Philly. I hate everything about this town. They hate Embiid. They yell at Embiid. He doesn't care, and he's looking forward to it. He's going to be He's going to enjoy being booed in French.
Do you
or
remember,
maybe they'll be saying rude.
Do you remember Dick Allen?
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember what he did to the Philly fans when he was a Philadelphia Philly? He took his spikes right by first base. He played first that day. And he wrote boo because they were booing him all the time. The Philly fans hate everything and
always
everybody.
classy.
You're right about that.
Always classy. One of my favorite stories of the week, by the way, has nothing to do with any of that. Is remember the names Michael Mizrachi and Freddie Deeb. Either one of those ring a bell?
No.
These clowns each coughed up $10,000 to be in the main event of the World Series of Poker, and promptly choked on that $10,000 on the first hand.
So basically 30 seconds they were done?
Each of them set fire to $10,000. so that they could then move over and have a really good seat to watch the World Series of Poker. That was my favorite story of the week. Also, Skip Bayless, who's an imbecile, said the other day that he thinks that Bronny has a better clutch gene than his father. Not Bayless's father, Bronny's father.
What?
This is Bayless. He's such an imbecile. I think he may have had a stroke. He has had this clutch gene thing forever, that he's claimed that LeBron James doesn't have the clutch gene. You know, LeBron James, who has a fistful of
World
rings.
Championships, yes.
Yeah, he's got a fistful of rings, but he says, now he didn't say that he thinks that Bronny has the better clutch gene. He said he thinks that Bronny will develop the better clutch gene, that he'll be the better three-point clutch shooter at the end of games than LeBron James.
You know, I worked a year in Dallas.
Yeah.
85. And Skip Bayless was a tremendous columnist for the Dallas Morning News.
Oh, he used to be a great reporter.
One of the great sports sections in America.
Absolutely.
Seriously. And I thought a lot of Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless basically took, because, you know, hate to say this, newspapers don't pay like television does, especially national TV. Skip Bayless took the money and he ran, and he's done this shtick, and you're right. That's I don't understand any of that. And honestly, I should have given a Russ, and I didn't, for J.J. Redick, because he's the first guy that said, we took Bronny wasn't given anything. He earned this. Really? He earned it, averaging 4 points a game on a team that wasn't 500 that he couldn't even start on. Now, granted, he had an ailment that he was out for a while, so he was behind his class in terms of getting in shape and knowing the system and all that. But come on, USC was a terrible team last year. They weren't even 500, and this dude couldn't even start for him. So come on,
His first summer
He
league
didn't earn
game.
crap.
His first summer league game, 4 points.
Right. In like 20 minutes.
And he's
In
going to be a
bunch of
better
minutes.
clutch player
Yeah, right.
than his father.
We'll see on that. Yeah.
That's about it for me. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers donates to charity. Everybody knows that. Kevin Durant is annoyed that there are rumors that he might be going to another team.
Kevin
Durant has played for
is
4
annoyed?
teams.
I've never heard of him
Oh, no,
being
it's
annoyed.
unbelievable. He's been such an easygoing
warm
guy.
and easy guy.
Yeah, he got his feelings hurt because they're speculating that he might be going to another team. He's played for 4 teams. I forgot he even played for Phoenix last year.
He played. He got his ring with the Warriors. He got an MVP in the finals for that, and then his feelings got hurt because I guess he didn't get enough attention on that team. So. Yeah, Kevin Durant is a great player, not a great human being, it seems to me.
Well put.
Much like the guy you mentioned before, but I am biased against Aaron Rodgers because he has destroyed my Chicago Bears.
Plus, he's just a tool.
Yeah. No golf thing? You're not taking a shot at anybody on golf?
Well, we talked about it before the show. It looked like they were playing a muni. I mean, when you got an amateur that's coming in second in the tournament, he's 24 under. You're not playing a very challenging golf course.
That's 3 weeks in a row they've played courses that are really easy.
This was embarrassing. I mean, you had how many guys were in double figures?
Oh, I don't know. You remember when John Cook shot 26 under here?
Right.
They redid the golf course. 28 under there. And 27 under Michael Kim did a couple of years ago. They don't care. They want low scores after the U.S. Open. They figure they've punished these guys. But that's 3 weeks in a row. They played Silvis, Illinois. They played Hartford. Where did they play the Rocket again? Oh, Detroit.
Yeah.
All 3 of these courses were made so easy for these guys.
Well, they're all going to have a much more challenging week in Scotland.
Luke Clanton is a good story, though. I don't care what kind of course you are. When you're a rising junior in college, in 2 weeks in a row, not against the best fields, but good fields, still pros, experienced pros, you finish in the top 10 2 times in a row. Hasn't been done since 1958. I'd say you're pretty good. I'd say that guy's going to be a PGA Tour player.
Absolutely. And Fritz is tied. It's a 2-2 in the second, Fritz Mazzetti.
But Fritz up a set. That'd be great. I'd love to see Fritz make the semifinals.
So he can get creamed by Djokovic. who will then complain about the crowd being on Fritz's side.
Here's the thing. Joker's coming off of a knee meniscus scope. He may not be 100%. If there's ever a chance that somebody could upset him in the semis, this could be the chance for Taylor Fritz. I would love to see that happen. That'd be great. And letting you know now that he was such a baby that all of Wimbledon, despite the fact that he's won so many times, they're all going to be for Taylor Fritz.
They're all going to be for whoever's playing him. And especially since he backed in. He doesn't even have to play the guy because his opponent got hurt. He's just backing into the semis, and nobody likes him anyway. So I'll be bullied.
He made 15 quarters. I wonder how many semis he's made in his career there. Whether you like him or not, he is truly a remarkable tennis player. Dennis Philippi, always remarkable stuff from you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We will not see you next Wednesday. We'll see you the Wednesday after that. So enjoy the next couple of weeks. I know you'll have plenty of ammo when you come in here the next time. That is our man. He's brought to you by the Eflin Insurance Team. You know how they do it. They do it the collaborative way. They want to get to know you to protect your home or your car, or get you the perfect life insurance to protect your family and its future. All you've got to do is make the phone call so that they can get to know you. They got a whole team of people besides Matt. There's Grant, there's Andrew, there's Heath. And if you call 386-GUR, that's 901-386. GUR is because they're big Tiger supporters. 4777. They will get to know you, figure out what your budget is, what's the most important thing, and then find that perfect life insurance, car insurance, or mortgage insurance for you. If you've got a small to mid-sized business, that's their specialty. They get to know you, your product, your employees, figure out your budget, forecast your business out a little bit, and then pick out the perfect commercial insurance. 901-386-GUR. Get protected the collaborative way with the Eflin Insurance Team. We talk golf in just a minute. The gang's all here, right around the corner.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
For retro cruiser styling packed with modern innovations, riders of all skill levels choose a Honda Rebel. Incredible motorcycles with a stripped-down style and a full package of features. Both the 300 and the 500 offer compact power inside a lightweight frame. Combined with a low-slung seat, the Rebel is easy to start on. And with new colors for this year, they are impossible to ignore. Go to Visetto Honda to check out the 2023 Honda Rebels. Cruisers with premium style and performance to enjoy every second. Never use the street as a racetrack. With the law, with your own driving.
Fabrice, I'm so ready for this weekend away with my girls.
Hey, hit the road? How about some free gas?
Free gas? How?
Try new Febreze car for some serious freshness and you can win gas for a full year. Visit Febreze.com to learn more.
Say less.
You may not win, but you're gonna have a fresh smelling whip.
Thanks, DJ Fresh. Now how about some music?
Hey, yo, this next one goes out to new Febreze car for giving you a chance to win free gas.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 to enter in 73124 for rules and how to enter. Visit Febreze.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on a shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding and a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, as long as you get it done.
We're in the break room at a traditional jewelry store here. Hey, Mark, I know it's our job here to try and sell every piece of jewelry, but don't sell this ring. I'm going to try to use my employee discount to buy it for my wife.
Okay, but you know you can get a better deal at Genesis Diamonds.
Genesis Diamonds? Are you crazy? Better not let the boss hear it.
All I'm saying is I got a pair of diamond set earrings there for my wife and paid a lot less than what we charge here, even after my employee discount.
Wow.
You never know who you'll see shopping at Genesis Diamonds. With no middleman pricing on the best selection of diamond rings, earrings, pendants, bands, and bracelets, it's a no-brainer.
I admire your dedication to our jewelry store and not going to Genesis. I know the boss really appreciates your loyalty.
It's just the right thing to do, man.
And it's nice your wife won't mind getting a smaller diamond.
On second thought, can you cover me while I take a break? Genesis Diamonds, the smart alternative to old-fashioned jewelry shopping. With more selection, lower prices, higher quality, stronger warranties, and zero pressure. At Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Ole Miss rebelled, yeah,
is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
We're going to talk some golf. Always a passion of mine. We got Mickey Barker, Johnny Lyon joining us. Can't get any better than that. Zach Boyd's going to give us an update on the leaderboard where we all stand here in a second. It's all brought to you by Memphis Parks. I got my invitation. Can't play on the 29th. I'll be rehabbing a shoulder replacement. But on July 29th, they're going to show us the brand new Audubon. I cannot wait for that. There are still championships to be played, and that's the great thing about Memphis Public Golf. They've got all kinds of tournaments now for you to get used to what it's like to compete the real way. It's cool. All you got to do is go to memphispubliclinks.com. You get all the information on all of the tournaments and the registration. We got the new clubhouse open at Pine Hill. Everything is on full bore with Memphis Public Golf. All right, Zach Boyd. Where do we stand? What's the order of picking today?
So the race has gotten a little bit tighter at the top.
No.
Just a little bit. So Mickey will be going first with 16.8.
Mickey is in last place?
Yes, he is.
16.8? Wow.
16.8.
Yeah.
Dave, you'll come in second at 17.
Wow. That's close.
Yeah. Ooh. Johnny picked the winner of last week's John Deere Classic when Davis Thompson. He'll be picking third at 18.03.
You're still leading 18.03. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything's close.
I will be last at 18.1.
18 point what?
1.
Well, then Johnny has more money than you at 18.3.
03.
0.0. So we'll just say 18.
Yeah.
All right. And then 18. Boy, that is close. Okay. Wow. Very good. Few stories this week. We'll get to see just exactly how Rory McIlroy bounces back. He's number one in the power rankings this week, by the way. Then we got the news. I want to start there with both of you guys, both Johnny and with Mickey Barker. Johnny Lyon, we start with you. Johnny, your thoughts on Keegan Bradley, not Tiger Woods, Keegan Bradley becoming the captain of the Ryder Cup team for next year. Good morning.
Hey, Wolo, glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, exciting news. Keegan Bradley was announced yesterday as captain. PGA of America announced him as the Ryder Cup captain. And it is alarming because Tiger Woods was supposed to be the captain for like the last 2 years, they said. And he says now that he's too busy, which he's not playing a lot of golf, so I don't really know why he says he's too busy.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you why. He says he's too busy because he's on the board of directors of trying to figure out the future of golf with the PGA Tour and the LIV Tour, the PIF, all those negotiations, what direction the Tour is taking, and they put him as one of the top 2 or 3 guys that are making all the decisions on that. So that was, I think, at least that's the excuse he used.
That's, anyway, an excuse. But, Keegan got left off of the last Ryder Cup team, in favor of Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. And, Zach Johnson was the captain last time. He totally looked bad on that, and it backfired on him, and the U.S. team lost by 5 points in Rome. So that was a crushing loss, and I think this is a good pick.
I'm stunned by the pick. I don't know about you, Mickey. Keegan Bradley, was never a thought in this whole process until the last second. Everybody did think it would be Tiger. Keegan Bradley hasn't played on a Ryder Cup team or been a part of a Ryder Cup team in 10 years. He was on the team in 12. He was on the team in 14. A decade goes by. He's the pick. Odd to me. Your thoughts about it, Mickey Barker?
I think it's a good pick. I like Keegan. I think he's the type person you want as the captain. He loves the Ryder Cup. He's all in. He's been involved in any way he can previously. As Johnny said, it was tough on him. Missing out on the last Ryder Cup. Whether it was, whether you'd rather have Justin Thomas or him. Thomas was the best player they had over there. So I don't know, but I like Keegan. He had said in an interview back in 22 that he would love to be a vice captain at Bethpage because for whatever reason, the people at Bethpage in that part of New York love him, and he gets more support from them than anywhere else he goes. And so I like the pick. He'll be a great captain, and it's not as much about the captain; it's about the players. So it's just a matter of whether he can get them to putt or not.
We are coming off 3 straight weeks with incredibly low scores. U.S. Open was tough, as always. It should be. But then you've had Detroit, you've had Silvis, Illinois, and you had Hartford where they went crazy, and 28 under last week at the John Deere. That's a new record that was accomplished. 27, and Michael Kim had that. And this time it was a young guy who I think is going to be a really good golfer, Davis Thompson, who achieved that. But John Cook had 26 under, and they redid Southwind. I think we've swung a little bit too much after the U.S. Open to have these kinds of low scores right off the bat. 3 weeks in a row. Let me start with you on this, Mickey. Do you like that or not?
I don't see much way around it. You're not going to be able to play a U.S. Open golf course every week. So if you give those guys good conditions where, the greens that putt well, and you give them calm conditions like they had the last 2 weeks, they're going to shoot 20 under, or 25 under. You can't stop it unless you play on a Pinehurst number 2 type golf course. They're going to be in the mid-teens here at Southwind, if not lower. So, I don't have a problem with it. It's fun to watch them make birdies.
You know what? I can dig 12, 13, 14. I think that's good because you don't want the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open is unique. I get that. But 26, 27, 28 under, how many guys were double-digit under? To me, that's excess, and in 3 weeks in a row. Johnny, your thoughts? Some people love that because it shows you how good these guys are.
Well, I've been thinking a little bit about David Gossett, the Memphian who won the John Deere.
Yeah.
In 2001. That was 23 years ago.
And it was his only win, by the way.
His only win, and he shot 19 under. So the players now, they beat that by 10 shots, which is a lot. And, that guy, Hayden Springer, the guy that nobody ever heard of.
59.
59.
Yeah.
27 on the front 9. That's basically 3 on every hole. I mean.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the scores are just unbelievably low. And I was lucky enough to win last week with Davis Thompson, but he is a phenomenal player.
He is.
He's going to give Scotty a little bit of a run, I think.
Maybe. I think the other story there is the guy at 24 under, Luke Clanton, who's now been in the top 10. He's a junior, a rising junior. He's only played college golf 2 years at Florida State, and this kid Clanton has accomplished something that hasn't been done since 1958. 2 top 10s on a PGA Tour event in 2 weeks in a row. I mean, and that's just crazy stuff. He's I'm forgetting where the PGA Tour event against the Scottish Open, which we're going to pick, is this week. But he's like the 2 or 3 pick in the power rankings for this next tournament. He's an amateur. Mickey?
Unbelievable player, as are many of them that are coming out at that age that are in college. He's a sophomore, but these kids nowadays, they just come out ready to play and ready to win, and they think they can. And it's all Tiger Woods' fault because they all grew up seeing him or watching him on YouTube. So they're all ready to play, and they all hit it 9 miles. They're saying now that college golfers are hitting it longer than the tour players. Their average distance is longer than what is out on tour, which is just amazing.
How much better is college golf than when you played it?
Oh, it's unbelievably. It's not even the same ballpark. I mean, I played NAI back in the late 80s, first part of the 90s, and if you could shoot 72, 73, 74, you're going to fish in the top 5 in the tournament every time you play. So nowadays, that's not even may not even get in the field.
Wow! So you've got to be basically the 60s to win these days.
Oh, absolutely. They're way under par in the tournament.
That's incredible. All right, Genesis Open, last question for both of you guys. I'll start with Johnny. Will Rory come back?
Rory will come back. Yeah, I think he just needs a little bit of time off. He said he's been walking around with his headset on for the last 2 weeks, not speaking to anybody.
Spent time in New York City after. Yeah, everybody thought he went home or whatever. He went to New York after Pinehurst.
Yeah, he's back with his wife, and hopefully he'll get it back going and playing in the Scottish Open here. So he ought to be at home, and he's I think going to play well.
Mickey, what do you think?
I'll let Johnny pick him. I don't think he'll play all that well this week. Probably now I say that he'll probably win again, but I look for him to play well next week,
all right.
Or in the Open.
Well, that means you're not taking him with your first pick because you go first.
Yeah, I've passed on Morikawa too many times this year, so I would take him.
Okay, going with Colin Morikawa. You know what? I thought the dude would never win another major again. Well, he hasn't won in 10 years. But after he fell apart on Augusta number 10, he came back next major and won the U.S. Open. Rory McIlroy is going to win the Scottish Open, and I'm going to pick him. Johnny, you got the third pick.
Okay, all right. Let's see. We'll go with Aaron Rye, whatever.
Aaron Rye, who's been hot. He hasn't been able to finish the deal, but he's in the top 5 every week. Zach, you end the first picks.
Gosh, I can't believe y'all left Xander Schauffele on the board.
Yep.
I'll take him.
Yep. You got him. Your eyes got big when he said Aaron Rye. That's
like, what?
That's funny. All right, Mickey?
I think Tom Kim missed the cut, but I think I'll take Tom Kim.
Darn it! He's my guy. I can't believe that. You've left me my other guy. I'll take Ludwig Oberg.
Okie doke. It's kind of interesting that Tom Kim was not even in the tournament. That I forgot to sign up for it.
Yeah, right.
He got in on the sponsors exemption, but he's in, and he did play well last year and the year before that. So I'll take Sahith Theegala.
You're going with Segala, who's been in a bit of a slump. I like the pick, though. All right, Zach.
Let's see here. Let's see. Let's go with. I think Wyndham Clark needs a bounce back tournament. I think this will be it for him.
Okay, Wyndham Clark. That means Mickey, your final pick.
Well, I think maybe he'll get a little revenge on Rory from last year. So, and He's a winner this year, so I'll take Robert McIntyre.
Oh, no, you're kidding me. I was going to steal him from Johnny. Okay. I got to go. Sooner or later, Victor Hovland's going to be Victor Hovland. I'll take Victor Hovland.
Okie doke. Let's see. We'll take a long shot here and go with the French guy, Pavon.
Pavon? I like him. Matthew Pavon? With the strange spelling of Matthew? What is it? Mathieu, I think. All right, Zach, last pick.
All right. Still got a lot of golfers here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Who do I want? Let's go with Sanjay M.
Wow. Nobody took Tommy Fleetwood or Brian Harmon. I'm amazed. All right. Johnny's got Colin Morikawa, Tom Kim, Robert McIntyre. I've got Rory, Oberg, and Hovland. Johnny with Aaron Rai, Sahith Thagala, and Matthew Pavon. And Zach's got Xander. He's got Wyndham Clark, and he's got Sung J M. Gentlemen, I will not be picking next week. I'm getting my shoulder replaced. Brian Dacus will fill in for me. We'll have the British Open. But thank you much, and we'll talk in a couple of weeks.
Sounds great, Dave.
Good deal.
Thank you. That's Johnny, that's Mickey, Zach, and me. The picks are in. They're all brought to you in part by Dinstall's, and you know how sweet Dinstall's is. I hope our picks are that sweet, too. Dinstall's, you got 5 locations to get it where they make it on Pleasant View. Summer Sizzler special still in vogue. Go try the Cashew Crunch. Get the turtlettes. We still have strawberries with that special way with the fondant. Nobody knows what's in it, and then they enrobe it with chocolate. Oh, you just can't beat their strawberries. So you can get it where they make it at Pleasant View. You can go to the suburbs, Collierville, or Germantown. Downtown, it's right there in that little quaint shop. All these places to make everything sweet for all of your buddies. All you got to do is go to Dinstall's. We pause for a second. We talk Ed Murphy track, Paul Doyle, who owns this league and is an agent, Christian Taylor, 2-time Olympic gold medalist in the triple jump. They talk track when we come back.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
If you own a business, you know Luttrell Belting keeps you moving. Luttrell has cost-effective belts, conveyor components, and 24/7 on-site service to keep you operating smoothly. Text are just a phone call away at 800-441-8946 or online at LuttrellBelting.com. Luttrell's Memphis plant stocks belting in nearly every size and finish, and if they don't have it, they'll make it. From ordering to selection, fabrication, and installation, your Luttrell sales rep is there for you. Luttrell Belting keeps you moving.
There are many real estate companies out there, but then there's Banyan Tree Realtors on the Cottonville Town Square. There are hands-on, family-owned boutique real estate companies whose agents have been offering exceptional attention to their clients for over 40 years. In an ever-changing world, Banyan Tree continues to maintain a small-town personal charm while providing a worldwide connection through its internet marketing presence. Personal service will never go out of style at Banyan Tree Realtors. Their agents are people you can trust, offering service you deserve. From residential homes to commercial properties, farmland, land lots, and historical houses, Banyan Tree has the expertise you can rely on. So if you're downsizing, upsizing, moving in, or moving on, give Banyan Tree Realtors a call today. Craig Smith and Mary Jean Smith and their agents are ready to serve you. Call today at 901-620-8920 or 901-359-2520.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloship.
The 8th annual Ed Murphy Classic, that is an international track meet, starts tomorrow, 1 o'clock, South Campus of the U of M. It is the only non-profit track meet, international track meet, in America. There are 250 track stars here, 20 different countries represented, 60 Olympians, past or present, will be in it. 10 who will be in Paris are competing this week, 7 others who just missed. And all proceeds go to U City Track. Some go to Memphis. All of this money that is raised, I think it was $550 last year. It's amazing. Will go to some sort of charity. Morning sessions include 400 kids. The nights are all for the pros. There will be a Ed Murphy Classic Mile on Beale Street on Saturday. That'll be followed by pole vaulting. It's unbelievable. And we've got 2 people that are a big part of this whole thing. Paul Doyle, who is the owner of this track league that this particular meet is a part of, the American Track League, and Christian Taylor, 2-time Olympic champion in the triple jump. I want to start with Paul Doyle, if he doesn't mind. Tell us about your league. Why are you putting this together in trying, I guess, to help American track, but how will this work out? Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. And thanks for the intro. You pretty much took everything out of my mouth what we were going to talk to you about. But no, the American Track League has been a passion of mine now for the past decade. And what we do is we put track meets, professional level track meets, and promote the sport all across America. We've done, something like 40 meets over the past decade or so. In Memphis, honestly, is the gold standard for us. Like, we have such a great partnership here with Ed Murphy Jr., Max Paquette, the meet director, the Ed Murphy Track Club. It's amazing the partnership we have here. We're basically trying to get partnerships like this all across America, really promote the sport, inspire kids to become Olympians and be professional track and field athletes. Our sport becomes super popular once every 4 years, right? But there's a lot more that goes into our sport. You mentioned Christian Taylor, who we'll be speaking to, is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Well, you know what? He's also a 4-time world champion. So we have world championships in the years that we don't have the Olympics. So, we're just really trying to let kids know that there's a sport you can aspire to here. You can be professional, and you can really make a good living for yourself in this sport.
Every 4 years we know about the stars. We come to love them. NBC does a great job of up close and personal, the old Roone Arledge philosophy. If you get to know the track star, you're going to care about that star. You're going to care about the sport. How is American track faring these days, and in particular in this country, in non-Olympic years?
Yeah, I mean, it's been the mainstay for our sport. We've created opportunities for so many athletes. I think back to like Alana Jukic. All right, she's this woman from Australia that's a 400-meter hurdler. Had it not been for the American Track League, she would not have qualified to go to the Olympics. These meets create opportunities where we're part of the World Athletic Tour, and athletes get ranking points. And when they run a time at American Track League, they get certain points, and those points allow them to be ranked enough to qualify for the Olympics. So there's been, this year alone, at least a half dozen to more that wouldn't have qualified for the Olympic Games had it not been for the American Track League.
I know big money in Europe for track stars. What's it like here? Are you trying to build on that?
Absolutely. I wouldn't have started this league if I honestly didn't believe it could be better than the Diamond League, which is sort of the top league in the world. It's the global league run by World Athletics. we fall under their umbrella as well. But I wouldn't have started this if I didn't believe that it could be the best league in the world. I mean, you look at all other sports, the NBA, the NHL, NFL goes without saying, but all of the top sports leagues in the world are based in America. That's where the sponsorship dollars are. If you look at 85% of the Olympic sponsors are American companies. So there's no reason why track and field in America can't be the epitome of the sport. It should be. We're the best team. Right? We always win the medal count at all the Olympic Games. Right. So there's absolutely no reason why track and field shouldn't be the biggest sport.
Well,
American Track League should be the biggest sport.
Part of the accumulation of those medals comes from Christian Taylor. You mentioned 4-time world champion, 2-time gold medalist, and I guess not on this Olympic team, Christian, because I'm told your final jump wasn't marked for some reason. So let's start there. Was that fair? Should you be on this Olympic team again? And thank you for being with us this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Good morning, Memphis. This is, I guess, the life of sport, right? So there's always the what ifs, there's always the shoulda, woulda, coulda. At the end of the day, right, to have faults is to be human, right? And so the thing is, what I don't want to do is take away from the amazing moment of those that did qualify, and rightfully so, they earned their place. It's going to be something that now, as getting close to the end of my career, it's going to be a question that I'm always going to have, at the back of my head, what if? But for me, at the end of the day, if those three guys can go represent the best and with American pride, come back and bring some hardware back to the home soil, I'll be very proud. So, yes, this was, a disheartening moment, a very frustrating moment, but at the end, all my energy is now to push them, support them, share my experience, to be somebody that did compete and has success at that high level, but to really hope to push them into bringing some hardware back.
Since you were out at qualifying, tell me about this American Olympic track team. How good is it? You've been around for several teams. Where do you think this one stacks up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have the showcase athletes, the ones, the Shikari, Richardson, the Noah Lyles. We have the favorites, right? But we also have a lot of the underdogs, the stories that, aren't really being told, the people that really have just been on the cusp and haven't had that spotlight yet. Training people that I've had the opportunity to watch and support, Trevor Bassett, a 400 hurdler that really has just shined and has just grinded, and, just really those, from Ohio, right? Just really from the Midwest and has just worked his way up, but to go and compete now, I think this could be a big moment for him. And so there will be a lot of the U.S. athletes that we know and we love, and we're hoping that this is going to be their moments. But I think, the special thing about, again, sports and the Olympic Games is it is really just like who's going to capitalize in that moment of time. It's not always who's the most athletic, who's the most talented, who's prepared the most, but it's actually who's ready to seize that moment.
Is there any track and field star right now that I don't know about? Because I know the sprinters, the NBC's been promoting them like crazy. Tell me somebody I don't know that I'll know about when these summer games are over.
I mean, I would hope, biasly, I would have to say that, to give some love to the fields, I'm hoping that Ryan Krauser, the beast, the giant, the legend. But, this guy is throwing a bowling ball 24 meters. Like, right. It's unbelievable what this guy's achieving. And so I hope this is a name that really can be globally recognized, especially in the U.S.
Paul wanted to chip in here and tell me, Paul, besides this, who will really enjoy watching this weekend or starting tomorrow in South Campus?
Yeah, starting tomorrow in the field events, I think Christian Taylor could mention probably the changing of the guards as Christian approaches the end of his career. There's a new young guy coming up out of Jamaica that's going to be jumping here, Jaden Hibbert. I think Christian would probably agree with me. He's the odds-on favorite to win gold if he stays healthy through the Olympics. But he's, I believe, only 19 years old still, maybe just turned 20. But he's the world leader in the triple jump, Christian's event, and he'll be taking over. But, of course, I got to put a plug in for my guy, Ryan Krauser, that Christian brought up. I want to put this in perspective, how dominant this guy is. You know, you have these conversations in the NFL, oh, who's the greatest quarterback of all time? Is it Brady? Is it Manning? Is it Rodgers? Is it Mahomes? There's no debate over who the best shot putter in the world is. It's Ryan Krauser. Prior to Ryan Krauser, the 22-meter mark in shot put, by the way, is sort of like the gold standard. There's only been about 18 guys in history that have thrown 22 meters. And prior to Ryan Krauser, the most times in their career anybody had thrown 22 meters was 16. He's now at 256.
Wow, that's incredible. That's amazing. I can't wait to see that.
Puts in a little bit of perspective.
Paul Doyle, Christian Taylor, thank you guys so much for coming to Memphis and continuing to promote track. Can't wait to see your product starting tomorrow. We'll talk with Ed Murphy more about that tomorrow. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you for coming on this morning.
Thanks. Appreciate you, Dave. Thank you.
You got it. Paul Doyle, Christian Taylor, brought to you by Grind City Brewing, taking care of business in Memphis with their great products and their wonderful venue for concerts, for fireworks. You name it, Grind City's been around for over a decade now. They are a taste of Memphis, whether it's Poppy's Pills or it's the Belga or it's Tiger Tails, that craft malt liquor. It's unique. It's incredible, just like their brewery just north of downtown. It's an experience. Grind City Brewing, taking care of business in Memphis. John Harden is under the weather, so we will be joining up with Colin Coward a little earlier. Hopefully he'll be here tomorrow. That's it for us. Here comes Fox Sports.